Hey guys, this is my new tutorials on how to use Fluentd in Hibernate. You guys might have heard about it in Hibernate. With the Hibernate, basically you have to do all your configuration with the XML file, but the Fluentd in Hibernate allows you to, write a code to do a mapping of your, classes. So by writing your classes, you don't have to worry about the XML file configuration. So anyway, let's go and deep dive into the code. To do that, let's go ahead and create a new project here. I'm going to go ahead and open the Visual Studio and start a new project. And I'm going to create Visual Studio Solution right here, other project types, and Visual Studio Solution, and I'm going to say Fluentd Hibernate example 1 or something like that. That one already exists. Let's let's say example 2. Okay, let's do example 2. That is our solution, and then let's go ahead and add a new project in here. We would like to add a simple console application. That's what we're going to start with very first time. Okay, simple, let's say Fluentd Hibernate session 1, something like that. Just that's the name came out, I just wrote it. Okay. Excuse me. So it just have a class here, program. So very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add a two folder in here. Well, you don't really have to add a folder to just use Fluentd Hibernate, but just in here I will have all my domain classes inside that folder. Okay, and then after that I'm going to go ahead and add a new folder, and then I'm going to call that folder name domain class domain mapping. Just gonna say mapping classes. Okay, so basically inside here I will have my POCO object, like let's say address, a person, or all the domain object of my project. In here with the corresponding mapping classes for that domain will be residing. Okay, let's, for the sake of this example, let's go ahead and create a new item. Let's go ahead and create a class called let's say we would like to a customer. Okay, very simple. Let's say a customer. Boom. Okay, here's my class customer. Let's make this guy public, and then basically I'm going to go ahead, just for this demo purpose, I'm going to go ahead and expose some properties. Public, I want to have the like integer ID of this guy. On another ID of that customer, which is needed for my primary key of the table, let's say. Then a string like your first name, okay, and then I would like to know his middle name. Some properties like maybe perhaps string last name, something like that. Let's further like let's start with very basic one. This is our domain object, okay, and then corresponding to, like I said, we have to create a mapping file for this one. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do something like this. I'm going to say class address. I'm going to say map. This is my Fluentd Hibernate mapping class for my address. Okay, inside the mapping classes, and this guy will make it a public, and then basically most important thing is like what you have to do, you have to class map, and you will take out t like some sort of class address or something like this. But of course it in this namespace doesn't know what the address is. Let's go ahead and do the address resolution, name resolution. Oh, sorry for that, I use customer. So okay, now either assembly it added that one, but it doesn't know because like because we haven't downloaded Fluentd Hibernate into our project. So that's the next thing we have to do. Let's go into project and right click it and go into a manage NuGet package. menu in the Visual Studio, assuming you have installed that. NuGet Package Manager, which is really awesome tool. Go into online. It's already in online, so I'm gonna searching for something called Fluent. It went over there. See, it found it, Fluent in Hibernate. That's what I would like to install into my project. See, like when you install, so many changes is occurring right here into my solution. For example, it added some namespace like in assembly, like Fluent in Hibernate, and whatever mapping, whatever all the dependency that this guy has, also added ISI collection, and of course this in Hibernate. This is what makes everything possible for Fluent in Hibernate to do it. So it added all the dependency and the DLL that we need to start the Fluent in Hibernate. Now if I go in here and then do control dot, it'll tell me, oh, are you talking about this assembly? And I would say, oh yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Okay, great. Now I'm going to create a constructor of this class, address map. Inside the constructor of this class, I will be creating the mapping. So I will do ID. Maybe my cap lock. Okay. Yeah. ID. Why my cap lock is giving? Okay. Now you should be happy. C. You're going to use this ID property. Okay. This guy somehow figures out that the ID basically is a primary key of the table. And then for the rest of them, I'm just going to do a map. So basically what I'm doing is I'm telling this Fluent in Hibernate, this is how it needs to be mapped. Map my first name. Okay, let me go ahead and copy and paste some of the code from here, okay? So you don't have to watch me typing. 2, 3, I think I just have middle name, and I got a last name. Okay, that is all I have for my okay, this is what I have. Now I have my customer and my corresponding mapping files, which is great. Now what I can do once all these things are done, now remember I need to I need to have some session factory so that it can talk to the backend database. So that's what I have to do. Well, I have already written some code on how to do it. Let me go and grab that code from here, and I will explain to you what's really happening here. Okay. Well, basically I'm going to create a class called nhibernate helper. I'm going to go ahead and add a class, new item, just a class, nhibernate helper. Okay, and then basically the same name. So all I'm going to do is just copy and paste this guy here. And okay, so basically I have a public static class called nhibernate inside this namespace, right? And right now you see all this squiggly red squiggly thing, they're like yelling at me, hey, I don't know what is that. So let's go ahead and do the resolution of those. Okay, that particular interface comes out from nhibernate namespace DLL. Okay, let's go ahead and resolve this guy. Okay, it comes out from Fluent guy, and this also comes out from here, and then okay, this comes out from the database. Okay, let me go ahead and briefly explain what's really happening here. So we have this configuration. This is how the Fluent in Hibernate does the configuration based on a different kind of database. In our case, of course, we are using SQL Server database, and then we are saying the connection string for that to connect to that database will be coming out from this key. Of course, we need to add that key into our app config file, because this is in a console application. If, for example, we are running this in the web, we would have our web config file with that key. And of course, like somehow this mapping has to know where our mapping classes are. This is done by this guy right here. I'm basically saying, hey, Fluent mapping guy, go ahead and find the assembly onto which this class reside. Well, basically saying, okay, where this class, this program class is, the namespace. Basically, it's looking for that DLL or assembly at runtime, right? And this piece of code right here is